Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at my Shadow Charizard with the fast move Ember. This is also a legacy move, so you need an elite TM to get this move. And honestly, I don't know on how often I've changed the fast move of Charizard already. We started off with like Fire Spin, which then kinda got away there as well, with Dragon Breath being one of the moves that got in there with the community day. Then we had a Wing Attack which got buffed, then Wing Attack got nerfed again, then Fire Spin got buffed again, so people were running Fire Spin again, and now Ember got buffed again, so Ember is now the ideal move. So yeah, I think on all the Charizards, I think in total I already used minimum of 5 Elite TMs, just because the fast move apparently changes every 2 seasons. So yeah, we're going to have Ember here today, and we're going to take a look at how good this is going to be, and we're going to see already in the first matchup here, we were able to farm down that Primeape quite easily there, which is kind of cool, as Ember is a great combination between getting some damage in and getting some energy as well. And so yeah, it's going to be an interesting video here today, and I have to say already this team actually worked out really well for me. I climbed up a lot actually. I climbed up I think like 150 points or something with this team. Definitely was a team that I can highly recommend you. I think I went even 2 times 5-0 or something with it. So like, yeah, this team was really nice. I would really recommend you to give it a try. Anyway, let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have the Moltres here in the lead, which is going to be, of course, a very favorable matchup for us, but we still have to be a bit mindful there, as the opponent still would have access to the move Brave Bird. But as you see, they're going to go into the Grumpig, taking some super effective damage from us. It's going to be Elsa, absolutely amazing. And we're going to have now the Dragon Claw still coming in, and I can swap out into my Charizard, taking any hit, and nothing is going to be super effective here. Because, like, that's the thing as well. Shadow Ball would be super effective against Scaledirge. And the Dynamic Punch, of course, super effective against our lead. And so, yeah, this is going to be definitely the way to go. We're going to see here the Gaston in the back. And that's going to be a bit of a tough one. I'm most likely going to lose this battle here, as the opponent going to have kind of perfect alignment. I don't really have anything to be doing here. By the way, I climbed 134 points with this team. So, yeah, like in 3 sets, which is really good. So, yeah, this team is absolutely amazing. Would really recommend you to give it a try. We will see here the Moltres coming in, and we have a bit of lag there, but they got their fast moves still in afterwards. So like, I'm not too sure if they actually lost any fast moves with it, or if it just looked weird, but that looking weird actually helps us out a ton, because he can shield here, and weirdly enough they go for the Brave Bird. A Fly would have been easily enough to knock us out, but this will allow us to farm them down in time to go for a Shadow Ball now and win us this battle. If I played it correctly, we would have not won this, but I don't know why they went for a Brave Bird there. I have honestly no clue. Amazing lead here for us. We hardwall the opponent there, and we're going to be able to also kind of wall the opponent's Cobalion here, which is going to be absolutely amazing. We can let the move go, and then we can go for one fast move and go for the Incinerate, and for the Touchdown, I mean. This is kind of the way you want to play it, by the way, against a 3-turn fast move user, because with 3-turn fast moves, they're going to be at 6 turns generally, and you always kind of want to be 1 turn behind what the opponent's turn currently is. And with the 1 Incinerate, you had 5, so they have 1 turn less. And this will allow you to kind of deny a fast move from the opponent, which is kind of important. As we'll see here, we're going to kind of wall the opponent as well, as we have now Ember, which is at least neutral, not like something like Dragon Breath or something like this, against the opponent's Clefable. And we're going to do some solid damage as well at the same time, as I can take those Swifts. Like, well, yeah, they're going to hurt quite a bit. They still need to go for 3 Swifts in order to knock us out. And I think if I just go for the Blast Sprint straight away, I have just a guaranteed win here. And as we see, it is going to be a guaranteed win, because they have nothing that they can do here anymore. Unless they're running Disarming Voice and they have like a million energy here, there's nothing they can do. And as we see, they're going to go for Torch Song. I don't think they have Disarming Voice at all. And so I'm going to call it as well. Just let the move go. It's going to be, again, another Torch Song. And with that, we're definitely going to be able to win. I can even go for the bait here still. And it doesn't really matter if I'm going to go for the bait or not. Like, we're going to be able to get them kind of low. We're going to get the KO here. And we can move on to the next opponent. Okay, we have Nidoqueen in the lead. Not too bad, but they swap out into the Blastoise, which is actually really good for us, because our backline really doesn't want to face the Blastoise here. So, Big Man Blastoise, let's see if we're going to be able to just beat him with our Gusload. Let's see if they're going to go for the hard-hitting move. No, they're going to go for the bait here first. That can be a bit of a problematic thing. But we're going to win the CMP die here, and I could just invest another shield here in order to deal with either an Ice Beam or a Skull Bash, and then I can just fully farm them down, and I should be alright. Getting rid of one of the hardest answers to my backline is kind of nice. They go into the Wall Rain, and we should be even able to survive a hit from the opponent here on our Scaledirge. I just hope that we're going to still even get to another move afterwards as well. I'm not too sure if this is going to be the case or if they're going to outspeed us because they got a little bit of an energy advantage in here. Earthquake comes through and they're sadly just barely going to outspeed us, which is going to be a bit problematic. But we're still going to have our Charizard, and Charizard just takes neutral damage from the opponent. Ice, of course, is going to be resistant for like the fire typing and for super effective against our flying typing. I'm fairly certain the resistance of fire for ice there only came in quite late. I don't think it was actually in the first generation of Pokemon. I think there was like a mistake or something with it, but I'm fairly certain it wasn't there. But let me know down below if you know more about it. I'm fairly certain it wasn't actually there. But now we're going to have here the Walrein still coming in, getting an Icicle Spear off, but we're still going to be able to survive that. I forgot that Nidoqueen literally has 0 energy on it currently, so I could have went for an extra fast move to have a bit of better timing, but we also get the defense stop, which guarantees that a Blast Burn, which we had stored, would knock them out. So next up, we're going to have Credilli here, and I just go straight for my Dragon Claw because they're going to try to debuff me, and yeah, the more damage I get in early, the better it is. And they just had to use a shield, which is absolutely amazing for us, because that is the, smallest move we can go for. We're going to swap out now into our Charizard, and this is going to be a very solid matchup for us as well. We have to shield here, but like a Blast Burn is going to knock them, so like I'm not really too worried about it yet. They're going to swap out though into Big Man Blastoise, which is going to be a bit of an issue because we have to go for Dragon Claw now. But actually, in theory, it would be stronger to go for the other move, to go for the Blast Burn. Blast Burn does a little bit more damage than a Dragon Claw would do, even though Blast Burn is resisted, just because it's such a hard-hitting move. But yeah, like at the end of the day, we still force them to go for a charge move, and we still kind of force them to consider their moves quite faster because, we just have a lot of pressure still against the opponent. And that's the cool thing about Charizard. Honestly, for this team, that's why I needed to run this team. You might think like, oh, ABB style again or whatever. I actually don't know why people care too much about that one. But the cool thing here about this team is just that you have a Dragon Elite and you can take advantage of Dragon Claw on your Charizard to bait out the Pokemon that maybe don't want to face Dragon type Pokemon. And that is kind of like the idea behind as well. It kind of helps out quite a bit. And Skeldritch in the back is just one of the best sweeper that you can have, and you will see it here as well. 1 KO already against Credilli, another KO here against the Big Man Blastoise, and we're gonna see in the back the Tentacruel, which can be a bit of a problem. But I think I survive a Scald because it's not Shadow, and we are going to be able to survive a Scald because it's not Shadow. And so we can go for our own Shadow Ball. And I hope that I'm going to be able to still reach another Shadow Ball here afterwards. And I can, and I win the battle. And that is the first set, I think, done, which was actually, funnily enough, a 5-0 with this team. And again, I was able to climb quite a bit with this team, and there's going to be more battles coming up anyway here. But as you will see, 5-0, nice climb, and we can move on to the next battle. We're going to have here the Weezing against us, which is going to be a matchup that I want to sub out of course, and swap into my Skeldritch, because my lead is completely getting walled. And why did I go into Skeldritch instead of going into my Charizard? Because Charizard is actually my better answer, as we're going to see here, they are running Brutal Swing. And to be fair, I make a bit of a mistake. I should have let this next move go through. I know that this Brutal Swing doesn't knock me out, and I would be able to still get to another charge move, forcing another shield from the opponent. But like what we did now is we kinda, on a bit of a tough spot, but I'm gonna go into the Pangoro, and to be fair, I don't really mind that too much. We are +1 already, we're gonna do a ton of damage, and we can swap out into the Charizard and go for the full farm down, leaving here most likely with a Blast Burn stored. I'm kinda okay with that. They might get to 2 Night Slashes, so they don't, they only get to 1, and we're 1 away from a Blast Burn, which is absolutely amazing, so like that is going to be alright. They go into the Weezing, which is cool, because that's the hardest answer of course to our lead, and we have to get rid of this Pokemon as soon as possible, and we're gonna get rid of this Pokemon here. And now they only have the Walrein in the back, and I'm not too sure on why they played it like this, but this looks really solid for us, because, while Walrein is an Ice-type Pokemon, which is very difficult for our lead, it's way easier to deal with an Ice-type Pokemon for our Dragon than with a Fairy-type Pokemon, so I'm really happy about it. And as you see here, I can still go for another Torch Song, because they have to go for an Earthquake here against me, and this puts them into a Dragon Claw range, and that is all that I need. Like literally, like they're not gonna be able to knock me out with 1 Icicle Spear. They were not able to overfarm by a million, and so I can just take the hit and I can win the battle. Good game to the opponent here as well. Again, Walrein has no chance here. Dragon Claw comes through, and Gastly is such a meta monster right now as well. Gastly is, by the way, needed in order to deal with Belly Bolts. Or Dragalge. And that's the thing as well here, Dragalge, very good for us as well. They're gonna swap out into the Moltres. And I feel like I don't know, I struggle a bit against Moltres, I feel like. Even though the fast moves here are resistant, we do neutral damage against the opponent. I feel like Moltres is still such a difficult Pokemon to deal with, I have to say. We see Shield here, and they go for Ancient Power, which is actually, yeah, something where I just didn't expect that. Like, I just don't know why you would go for it instead of going for Fly. But yeah, Ancient Power Fly has the same amount of energy there needed. I don't know why they did this, but we will see here the Dragalge coming in, and again here's kind of where I was talking about where Drag Claw can come in clutch. We have that coverage move with our Charizard that will allow us to get them kind of lower. I have to use my shield here still on my Lostheart. I can't let this, like, use a shield here, and I hope that they don't go for the full farm down. But I think that it was a CMP tie again, was it? That would be ideal if it was a CMP tie. We're gonna get the KO here anyway. And they're going to have their Primeape still in the back. I'm not too sure if we're gonna be able to win this battle. I do think we might lose this. Why? They still have super effective Right Twist, but the issue is that they have a ton of energy here. And that means, even though I have a shield, I have to let this next move go through as well, hoping I survive in a range where I can still do enough damage with my fast moves. But as we'll see here, the opponent is just getting 2 moves back to back to back. I can go for another fast move here and then swap out and try to my best here to get more damage onto them, but it's just barely not enough. Actually, this Primeape is going to win against us. Literally just barely there. They only had a few HP left. Okay, horrible lead. We swap out into our Sazop, the Charizard, and we're gonna get out the Lapras. They're going to outspeed us here, so we're never going to be able to win this matchup. So that's going to be a bit annoying. Oh, is it? The thing is, they outspeed us only if we're going to take a look at the Blast Burn. To the Blast Burn, we're not going to be able to outspeed them, but to the Dragon Claw we can. Which means we're going to get a shield here, and which means we can go for another Blast Burn straight away afterwards, and they wouldn't really expect that. And so, yeah, we can say goodbye to the Lapras, and it's easily, yeah, worth it for us to shield this move up, so we have perfect alignment and don't have to use Clefable against our Guzzlord there. That doesn't really make too much sense. And they'll reveal their final Pokemon, which is going to be Swampert, a Pokemon that Guzzlord can deal with, and that Skeledirge really doesn't want to deal with. And so we're gonna get the shield here as well, and you can see what Charizard can do. Like, literally, you can kind of see what Charizard can do here in the current meta. Blast Burn damage is ridiculously strong. Ember helps out quite a bit. I expected them to try to catch the move. It doesn't help them out at all. We're gonna have our Skeledirge, and Skeledirge is one of the hardest answers to Clefable, as we resist literally everything that this Pokemon can learn, other than Psychic, but Psychic is a bad move and nobody runs it. It doesn't make sense to run Psychic on this Pokemon, but as we'll see here, we're just gonna be able to go for the full farm down. And they can still go for another Moonblast here, and they're still gonna be kind of close with that one. But I know that if they get to another move, it is going to be a Swift, and so I know that I should be able to survive it. It's a double resisted non-step move. Yes, we do survive it, and the Shadow Ball is going to take out the opponent's Swampert, winning us this battle here again, and it showcases again on how good this team actually is. Next up, Guzzlord against Skeledirge. This is going to be again a very positive matchup for us. We're gonna see the swap out here onto the Samurott, and didn't really know how to deal with Samurott. Samurott is a Pokemon that I don't think we have a really good answer for. Like, that's definitely a Pokemon that breaks this team a bit. But I have to say, especially in the Ultra League, Samurott hasn't really been there. I made a video about Samurott, by the way, on the channel. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. But we see the issue with this Pokemon, basically, as well. Because what we will see is that they have actually more energy than they showed us before. And they are going to be able to go for a charge move now. And they still have another Hydro Cannon stored, actually. And I'm not going to be able to go for my own charge move, which means they're going to knock me out. And now I have to kind of try to find a way of coming back from this game. And that's only to get more energy here on Pokemon Skeledirge and try to win with that. They go into their own Skeledirge, and I have to go for the bait here. And this is painful, because this bait is not going to work. And I was like, yeah, I need more energy. And now they can go for their own charge move. And they, yeah, everything kind of went to... not a great ending there. Like, I would have actually had a decent chance if I just played out a bit better, but Samurott is quite difficult for this team. Okay, Steelix is not ideal for us, but luckily they swap out into the Giratina, and again we can take advantage of the coverage that our Charizard has here. As we'll see, we're going to be able to go for the Dragon Claw spam, and as we will see as well, we're going to be able to get another shield from the opponent. That's going to be great. We should try to get another one afterwards as well still, but now we can actually let this move go and just go into our own Dragon type Pokemon to go for some Dragon Tail damage. We are shield down, but it's not too, like, they are shield down, I mean, but they're going to have a lot of charge move pressure against us now, which is not going to be as ideal. They don't run Shadow Claw, they're running Dragon Breath here, but I'm still going to be able to reach another Dragon Tail in time, a Dragon Claw time, which is going to be able to get us the KO against the opponent. And we're going to be able to swap out here. The Skeldurge comes in, and they're going to see that there are 2 Pokemon that are weak to Skeldurge. And here is the beauty of this Pokemon, and this is why this is one of my favorite Pokemon to run in the Ultra League currently. Skeldurge is just having the option to sweep through entire teams with Torch Song. Like, Ultra League Skeldurge is ridiculous, but you know what's kind of funny? There's going to be a top team in Master League coming up soon, and funnily enough, Skeldurge made it in that team, like in the top team video, which you're gonna see very soon. You wonder why? There's a good reason, and you will see it in the video. So definitely stay tuned for that one, but maybe even build your Skeldurge for the Master League, because it has a lot of play. But as you'll see here, we're gonna be able to still go ahead and go into our Guzzlord just to take some damage from the opponent. Moonblast's gonna knock us out, and we're just gonna be able to win the battle. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to force him to throw some energy against me, which worked fine, and this is going to be it for this battle, and this is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like. This is my ending elo for this team. I started like, again, 143 points below, or like 34 points below, but it is what it is. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.